Good evening, this is Kuro in number 2. We're gonna do a Okay. Easy, easy, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, I know, we're gonna play. We're gonna play. He loves this game. Anyway, going over the matchmaking really quickly because we're a little behind. Kaga, a bunch of fatbotes. No radar, we're in a Khaba. At the end of the day, okay, we've got a CV, that's about it. Okay, so, Khaba things. We spawn on the... Hey, gotta stay up here. He's falling out of my lap right now trying to take a look. We're taking a look at the north spawn. We are on the southern end of the team over at ACAP. And what I'm going to do is... It's a different way to play Russian destroyers. Another viable... way to play this is we've got this Fletcher here. This Fletcher's actually from easy. We're gonna get to the fat boats. He's from 007. They're a pretty good clan. Yeah, a viable option would be to push up here and support him. He's got his own div mate. What I'm looking to do is pretty much stall out this entire southern flank, and I managed to talk our CV into pushing down here with his planes, spotting an enemy DD, because if you can spot a DD, Khaba will love to punish it. And it's a Shima. Yeah. Sorry if he's a little loud. He's just woke up from his nap and he loves to play this game with me. So we're taking just some perspective shots at the Shimakaze. Just throwing some shots out there in the smoke. Being undetected like this tells me there's not likely any other destroyers down here. Or at least outside of the smoke. I'm just going to keep taking some blind shots into the smoke. Maybe I get lucky and hit him. When I'm taking those shots, I'm just kind of aiming around where his last known indicator was. Now, what I want to do is, and I mean, it hasn't looked like I've done much, but I've almost shaved 5k off this Shima. You can see it's almost a quarter of his HP is gone, and he hasn't even got out of the cap. His smoke's gone. I've completely stalled their destroyer out down here. So what I want to do, I want to start focusing on pushing some of these guys back and creating some pressure down here. Obviously we have a lot more stay off my coffee, buddy. We have my team's outmanned down here. I mean, you look at how many ships they have versus the three of us down here. Okay, you've got a North Carolina here, but they've got a Kurfürst and a Republic here. You know, they've got roughly half the enemy team down here, as opposed to us, where we have about a third of our ships down here. So, you know, it's going to be up to me just to really start creating some pressure down here, and this is one of the ways that you do it. You use fire damage. So shooting at this Montana, hey buddy, that's not food. So just working on this Montana, and I do get a fire on him. I'm going to swing back in here. Notice, the Shima, he's not on the cap. It's like this guy got scared off by that early action, and he's just kind of said, the hell with this, I don't want it. Oh, easy, easy. He doesn't want anything to do with trying to cap this. Are we gonna get him? So we know this Montana's repaired, and we're just gonna sit on this guy, and we're just gonna keep working him over until we either get pushed off or we start, you know, getting additional unrepairable fires and another target pops up. Now, one area that I am looking at is this gap here. We've got several battleships congregating in this area. And the last thing I want to do is have these guys push up really close to me and have them be able to punish me at close range with AP. Khaba is one of the few destroyers that suffers from battleship AP pens, so you do need to be cognizant of that. This game's going to be a lot of just kiting away, avoiding damage, that kind of thing. HP management, really. And if you look, you can tell my teammates they're in trouble. I mean, they're pinned into the corner here. These guys aren't going to be able to get out. The Alaska goes down, you know, the Bismarck, the North Carolina, all of these guys, they're in trouble. North Carolina can get out if he turns right now. And what I want to do, I want to push back in here and try to create some pressure. Maybe be able to buy them time to let my guys get out. Besides, if they shoot at me, they're not shooting at my teammates, and I've got a pretty good track record at avoiding damage with this boat. I mean, we've already dodged over 500,000 damage at this point already. Fire on the Kurfürst. We're just going to rotate to the Republic. You know, it's... this is about, you know, delaying these guys, creating a situation where they don't feel safe pushing up, and that battleships don't like to push when, you know, they've got the threat of, you know, multiple fires. This is actually a little bit of a misplay. I don't think the Kurfürst is ticking. Yeah, I should have switched over quicker than this. And I do finally get the fire on the Republic. Now, if you noticed, I had watched where the Bismarck was, and I didn't cut in front of him. I'm the faster ship. This guy, he's being shot at by everybody. You know, I'm just gonna let him be. I think I just got... was that double unrepairable fire on the Kurfürst? He might have actually just let that first fire burn out. So, right here, with the way this map's designed, I'm just going to be a filthy border scummer right now. You know, 8 minutes in, Witherer. You know, this ship is still incredibly powerful when you're shooting at battleships. It's nasty for things to deal with. I'm looking to see if the Kurfürst is going to keep pushing, and I just want to keep chasing this Republic because I keep, if you noticed, it's mostly me pushing these guys back. It's the fire damage and letting things go on. Now this is a good move by the Shima. I thought the Shima was just outside of torp range, so I didn't drop the torps on him. But he's using AP. That's telling me this guy's actually pretty switched on when it comes to playing destroyers, and it's pain in the ass for me, you know. And I'm basically needing to give ground right now, and you know, this Henry pushing up is, you know, causing me to give ground as well. Unfortunately, Henry, I don't know if he's got hydro or whatever, he spots the torps and he's able to dodge them. But I'm just going to keep working on this guy. You know, and right here with this engagement on the Henry, my DPM is secondary. I'm only really exposing my guns, or my front guns, for my full DPM when it's safe to. You know, he's turning right now. His guns are just now getting back on target. And you're going to see me just... Actually, this time, I'm just going to try to dodge just with my speed. Just every now and again, like they're just talking about dodging. You know, you can turn out and get narrow. But if you do it enough, guys are going to recognize that. They'll try to predict that. So what you want to do is occasionally, don't even move. Just let the natural speed that your ship will pick up when you stop turning. Just let that help you, and the shells will fly right behind you. Maybe you get a couple stray ones that hit your stern. The general idea is your stern on a gunboat like this will saturate and do far reduced damage relatively quickly early on. Now, the downside of that kiting, there were a couple minutes my guns weren't in the action, and you know, I'm only just now getting back to this Kurfürst. This looks to be like a Kurfürst that at least has some secondaries built in it, whether it's full secondary or not. I don't know, but you know, we're just gonna keep working on him. Buddy, what are you doing? He's exploring my office at the moment. So, I am starting to get a little close, but it looks like these guys have been completely demoralized, and this is the effect that Khaba has. These guys have taken shot after shot at me. They haven't hit me, and you can tell these guys are just frustrated. They know that I'm gonna kill them, and they're just like, the hell with it. I just want to hit something that I can punish, and you know, that be that. And that's the only reason I'm back down here this close, is I've picked up on the fact that this guy is just like, fuck that guy. You know, I wanna you know, be able to shoot something. And I pushed down here because, number one, I picked up on that feeling from that battleship player. He's probably broken his keyboard at this stage of the game. But I didn't want to have to try to kite back again, because that would take me away from this Montana. And I just want to, you know, blow through as much damage as I can through the enemy team. That's my job, is, you know, a Russian destroyer. If you notice, AP, once I actually got the full broadside, it's the ammo of choice. I mean, 4 or 5K volleys, you see him start to turn away, and I'm just gonna keep working on him. And this is why with the build I prefer basic firing training over something like demo expert if I don't have the points. You get basic firing training comes incredibly in handy when it comes to punishing destroyers that are only spotted for a certain period of time. That 10% DPM roughly can translate into 10% extra damage on those destroyers when they pop up. So DPM matters. Now here, I'm making a conscious decision. Everything down here has been killed. I could easily walk in and take the cap. I'm not going to do it because yeah? You come back to see the boat? We came back at a bad time because we got some sailing to do, huh? Yeah? Yeah. So, and again, this is one of those unfortunate situations that you deal with where you have to relocate. And fortunately, I had a speed boost, and I do run the engine module on it. I think that's kind of funny. I was blind shooting that shim and picked up that hit. But I'm basically just racing right into this gap as quick as I can, just to try to feed off the keyboard. Just to try to get any sort of damage back. I really would like to break 200 on this game. I'm actually gonna speed this up a little so you guys aren't bored. I wish I could sail this fast, but I'm not a French ship. So, again, just rolling right out here. Republic's giving me broadside. Here comes DAP. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Get him. Get him. Now, about this time, disaster happens. And the disaster is the name of that Shimakaze. If you look, I'm dodging these dive bombers. The CV realizes I'm close enough to be a threat to him, so he's going to start coming for me. Pick up the fire on the Republic, and I'm just at a horrible angle to try to dodge these torps, and I make the mistake and I slow down, and Shima torps. I mean, one'll do you. And it's one of those things. I think that I think the smart play would have actually been to turn out. I've been driving so much regular destroyers that the natural inclination for me right now is to turn into torps. Khaba, she slides a lot when she turns at high speed, and I was pretty much traveling full speed. And I tried to slow down a little bit to try to turn faster. She just wasn't gonna do it. The way to do that for the Khaba a lot of times is to use your speed to reduce the closing time for the torpedoes by basically turning away from the torpedoes when you're traveling at full speed. You increase the time duration that you increase the time for the torpedoes to actually impact your ship. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I say like those dead fat boats. But and then you would use that increased, time that you have to actually, wiggle in between the torps. And I think had I turned out, I probably could have survived not eating one of those torps. I did try to eat it on the bow. It just didn't matter. It was a 12-kilometer Shima torp, and they hit like trucks. This Shima has actually played pretty well. You can see in here, this is a smart move again. Pop and Smoke. He sees the dive bomber right there. And between the dive bomber and a couple Shima volleys, they're able to kill that destroyer. That Shima player played his ass off this game. He didn't have a lot to work with. But, he made it work. I don't know what he did early in the game. If he was just like, the hell with this Khaba down here, I'm not going to worry about capping A, or if he eventually did cap A, and I just didn't see what he was doing in the meantime, I don't know. But the few times that he did pop up, he was doing very smart things. So kudos to, it was Night Stalker, I want to say his name is. Hey, why are you trying to eat on the dinner plate? You trying to tell me you want lunch? Yeah. So this game is about to run out on points. So I'm going to fast forward this a little bit since we're pretty much done here. I did actually end up breaking 200, so kudos to me. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you got any questions or comments about Khaba, it's not really a ship that I play that often. Leave them in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. Have a good night. Yeah. Can you say bye, buddy? Can you say bye-bye? Yeah?